Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay and welcome to my Feel Good Flow. It's 55 minutes of a vinyasa style of yoga that also has a little bit of yin-like yoga poses that we'll start with and that we'll finish with. All of that to reset your body, to recenter your mind. And it's about feeling good in poses that will help to lengthen and open the body so we kind of reset after this practice. But also, feeling good is about remembering the good that's in our life, to be thankful for our bodies, for this practice, to remember things that we're grateful for. It's so easy to just focus and hone in on what's not there, what's lacking, what's negative, and using this practice to reset our minds, to focus on more of the good that is within us and that's around us. So make sure you have a strap. You might want that to start practice with. Other than that, I'll see you on the mat. You're going to start on your back with your strap nearby, but not with your strap being used yet. So come into a Savasana or come into just a nice easy rest. You can do whatever you want with your body. Just be on your back and in a way that you feel relaxed. So with your arms, that could be your hand on your heart, your hand on your low stomach. I like to do that. Just helps to feel the breath. Or your palms up or down. But now that you've chosen where to place your body, I invite you to just feel that. And just start by feeling what is on the floor. Feel the mat beneath your head, under your shoulders and under your upper body and your arms. Just feel the textures that are there underneath your hands, underneath your elbows. And feel your low back. Notice your legs. And whatever is touching the floor, just let that fully release to the floor. So together, take a nice long inhale breath. And when you exhale, let your body sink and melt and soften. And as you're here, I invite you to think of one thing that you're grateful for. Just one. And why are you grateful for it? What is one thing that you're grateful for and why? Just breathe in that goodness, that gratitude. And as best as you can, just focus on that goodness. And one thought of gratitude can change hours of thinking within our brain. And take one more breath here, your longest inhale, then your longest exhale. And bring your feet to the floor with your knees bent. And pull your right knee into your right shoulder and draw your left leg down to the floor. And keep your eyes soft. Feel free to keep them closed. closing your eyes helps to reduce your stimuli around you and bring your attention within. And then use your strap, place it around the ball of your right foot. You might not want it or need it. If you don't need it, you don't need to use it. Good. And then just do a nice simple stretch of your hamstring. Draw your right leg back and just feel what's going on there. For me, I think I might have a little flare up in my right hamstring from running. Because every time I've gone running the last couple of weeks, it kind of hurts afterwards. So I'll probably get some attention to healing that, but just take that type of information in. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Nice. And then reach your right hand high up the strap. Make your right arm fully straight, or hold your toes and take your right leg out to the right. If you're close to a wall like I am, just scooch over to the left side of your mat to make that space. And as you do that, drive your left thigh down towards the floor. Keep your left hand onto your left hip, or bring your left hand out away from you. And bring your right leg all the way up. Switch your hands so that your left arm reaches straight. Okay, this is going to be a little different. Don't just twist. Stay here for a moment. Keep your left toes and your left knee facing the ceiling. And then draw your right leg across your body slowly while keeping your left toes and left knee facing the ceiling. This is going to isolate more like your outer hip, your outer glute muscles, your IT band. So it's not a twist. It's meant to be an outer hip stretch the way that we're doing it. Oh, and then breathe there. I love hands-on assisting, so when I'm not in class, I love self-assisting. So how you can self-assist is you can take your right hand, place it to the outside of your right hip, and press your right hip away from you, and whew, you will feel that. If you want, now take your leg all the way over to the ground so that you kind of are twisting now. And breathe for 3. And bring your leg all the way up. Hold both strap, or the strap with both hands, and lift up your knee towards your nose for 3. Breathe here for 2. And then release. Let that go. Good. And your right leg might feel longer than your left, which is good. Go ahead, switch to the other side. You just stretched out a lot of your hip muscles there. I'm sorry, first pull your left knee into your left shoulder. So you don't need your strap yet. Just get this action of hugging in like you're warming up your hip and your hamstrings for the deeper stretching. Just take a few breaths there. This doesn't have to feel like a deep stretch for you to get a benefit from it. If we're always looking for the deep stretch or the deep strain or the deep challenge, we're always looking to push our edge in every yoga pose that might not necessarily lead to a very good place. Stretch your hamstring now by holding your foot or holding your strap. So in some of these poses, you're going to feel those deep stretches for sure. Like here, you might totally be feeling that. Other poses are meant to kind of prepare the body. And because of that, you won't feel as much. Or some of the poses might be to prepare your mind. But instead of always looking for the deepest strain, the deepest stretch, just feel what you feel with wherever you are. Good. Now reach your left hand high up the strap or holding onto your big toe And take your left leg all the way out to the left. Keep your right leg straight and strong. And your right hand can be on your kind of right hip or right thigh. Keep your right leg grounded to the floor, or your right arm out to the right. This part of your practice is like the integration part. It's where we're preparing. So just find enough of a stretch where you feel like you're doing that, like you're preparing your body for the deeper poses, the longer holds. Then lift your leg all the way back up, switch your hands, but let's go into the slow. So have your right arm fully straight. Have your right leg straight with your right toes, right knee up to the ceiling. And then take your left leg across your body with your right leg facing upward. So once again, not a twist. Outer hip stretch. You can do your self-assist with your left hand. You're going to hold on to the outer crease of your left hip and press that away from you. Whew. Don't hold your breath. Let it freely move through your body. Your breath is associated with prana. Prana in yoga terms is this life force energy. It is our vitality. It is our strength. It is our energy. And lift your leg all the way back up. Hold your strap or leg with both hands. Lift your nose up towards your knee and just breathe for 3. Good, for 2. And then release all the way onto your back. Let your arms drop and your legs drop. And just 2 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose or mouth. Good. 1 more in through your nose. Exhale your nose or mouth. Let every nook and cranny of breath go out. And hug your knees to your chest, but reach behind your knees. Rock forward and backward 3 times, getting some more energy into your body after that nice slow warm-up. Come into a tabletop pose onto your hands and onto your knees. Good. Have your pointer fingers face forward. It's a good starting point. Other fingers turn out to the corners of your mat and press the shoelaces of your feet onto the floor as if you were wearing shoes. Now lift your knees 2 inches up off the mat. Don't curl your toes under. Keep the tops of your feet on the floor of your feet. Have your neck be in line with your spine and hug your low core in and up. Uddiyana Bandha. Your lower abdominal lock. Engage that. Hold for 3. Now, can you let your breath move freely here? Free movement of prana, even through a strenuous pose. Keep moving your breath, plank pose. So not much give, not much of a change, but keep holding. Everyone inhale here. Downward facing dog. When you exhale, go back. Nice, and wiggle out your downward facing dog, just nice and slow, left and right. Pedal out your legs. Put your shoulders and your hips into it. Move side to side. Get your joints a little bit loose, like you're lubricating them. Good, now hold a downward facing dog. So with your toes, align them facing forward and your heels facing straight back so that you can't see your heels. Your feet are about 6 inches apart, hip width distance apart. And hug your forearms towards each other. Squeeze in your forearms towards the center line of your body. And you are holding this for about 5 more breaths. Activate Ujjayi breath, that ocean Darth Vader sounding breath. In and out your nose. 2 more breaths. Steady your breath and steady your mind. Nice. Then start to look forward and take about 10 steps to get to your hands. So even count them. Just make yourself go slow. We'll move faster in just a moment, but right now, just cognizant, present to each movement. Once you're at the front after your 10 or more steps, come into a halfway lift and lengthen out the sides of your waist. Lengthen out the sides of your neck and take an inhale here and fold. Release your head, release your hands to the ground and let your head dangle. So shake it yes. You're going to take in the good. Shake it no. Let it go out. Good. And then let it just hang in the middle. No effort to hold it up or pull your head in. Bend your knees a bit more and roll up to standing. Good. And then at the top, lift your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Nice big reach, big sweep. Stay here and bring your palms to touch. Now with your core, hug your low core in and up. Bring your pelvis at neutral. Yeah, and if your arms are feeling a little strained, then you're probably doing this right. You're just keeping your palms touching. Don't cross a single finger. Hug in at your forearms. Hug in at your thighs. Hug in at your hands and your upper arm bones for 3. Now go vertical for 2. Inhale. And bring your hands down to chest center. Exhale. Good. And let's start to flow. Inhale, sweep your arms up and lean back. Forward fold, bring your hands through your heart and down to the ground. Release your head. And halfway lift. Inhale, look in front of your mat and step your right foot all the way back and lower your knee to the ground. Point your back toes, sweep your arms up. That's your inhale. And again, have your palms touch, so don't cross any of your fingers. Lift your chest and lean back. 3. Good. It just makes it harder to strengthen and lengthen your shoulders without crossing your fingers. Good. Lower your hands down to the ground. Step to downward facing dog. Take a breath in downward dog. And then breathe all the way out and step your right foot to your hands. Drop your back knee, point your toes. Inhale, sweep up. Don't cross your fingers again. Lift your chest, palms touch. 3. Nice. For 2, go upward as you go backward. And then bring your hands to the ground. Curl your back toes, step forward. Halfway lift, hands on your shins, lengthen your back. Good. Forward fold. Exhale, release the weight of your head. Let it dangle. Come all the way up. Inhale, breath, Urdhva Hastasana. Bring your hands to chest center and zip up your core muscles here. Good. Again, inhale, sweep all the way up, lean back. Exhale and forward fold all the way down. And halfway lift to lengthen out your spine. And step your left foot back. Lower your left knee, point your toes. Inhale your arms up. Just have your palms touch as close as you can with your arms really straight. Press into your front heel, go backward. 3. Breathe, Ujjayi breath, stretch the whole front of your body. And then hands to the ground, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, inhale. Breathe out and step your left foot all the way to your hands. Lower your knee, inhale, sweep up. Crescent moon pose, this is called. Palms touch. I just wrapped my thumbs out of habit. Lift your chest, lean back, no wrapping your thumbs for 3. Straighten your arms as you go back. And then hands down, curl your back toes, step forward. Nice. Halfway lift. And fold. Exhale. Sweep all the way up to standing. Inhale, breath. Hands at chest center. Good. We're going to keep that flow, but add in some more poses. So inhale, sweep up. Chair pose. Exhale, Utkatasana. Bring your big toes to touch. Sit your hips a little bit deeper than you might want to. Yep. And then sit and hold and feel. Now with your core, hug it towards your back. So keep that Uddiyana Bandha, lower abdominal lock active, but unlock your jaw. One more inhale. Keep your arms by your ears. Forward fold, release your arms. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Step your right foot all the way back, lower your knee. Inhale your arms up. Now make steeple hands. See what difference that this makes. But as you do this, close the edges of your pinkies towards each other. So seal your hands shut. Lift your chest. Lean back for 3. Pull your arm bones back by using this grip, your mudra. And then lower your hands to the floor, plank pose. Step straight back. And from plank, lower your knees to the mat. Lower your chest to your thumbs and your chin to your thumbs. Good, so you've got this little back bend. And then snake your legs back and your chest forward for baby cobra. Yeah, so there's not much pressure under your hands, but your back muscles are doing a lot of work to keep you lifted. Take one more breath. Inhale, ungrip your jaw. Exhale, lower your chest, curl your toes, downward dog. Press all the way back. Good. Now inhale your right leg high up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to your hands. Lower your back knee. Inhale, arms up to crescent moon. And then have your other hand go on top for your pointer fingers up. Yes, hips go forward. Inhale, hug your arms to your ears. Exhale, go back. 3, 2, one more breath. And then hands to the mat. Curl your back toes, step forward. Halfway lift and lengthen. Forward fold, exhale down. And chair pose. Inhale, bend your knees. So traditional chair pose, your big toes touch. Your heels are about an inch apart. Hug your knees towards each other. Hug your inner thighs towards each other. As you hug your inner thighs in, that will activate your core and bring your low back into a stable position. And take one more breath, sink low. Forward fold, exhale. Same flow, guys. Halfway lift, breathe in and lengthen. Step your left foot all the way back, knee down. Inhale, steeple hands. Kali Mudra, this is called Kali. Lift your chest, lean back for 3. Good, go a little bit further since you've done this a few times. And then hands to the ground, plank pose. Hold your plank for the inhale, press the floor away. Knees, chest, and chin lower to the ground. And then lift into a baby cobra pose. Downward facing dog, exhale, and go backward. Good, then left leg up, inhale breath. Step forward, exhale, back knee to the floor, crescent moon, inhale. Kali Mudra with your hands, good. Maybe the other hand on top for 3. Look back, go back, there you go, hold. Hands down to the ground, step forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Your whole back body is getting more flexible. And then reach all the way up. Inhale, be tall. And sit into that chair pose that I almost forgot. Yeah, there you go. Hold. Now with this chair pose, bring your hands down next to you. And sink until you can touch the floor with your fingers. Keep your chest higher than your knees. If that's not possible, just get as close as you can. Okay, keep this little chair pose. Lift your arms up without moving your chest. Breathe. Hug your inner thighs towards each other. That will help your low back. That will engage your core. 3, 2, And then fold, exhale. Good, adding more poses in. Halfway lift, inhale. Right foot back, exhale, knee to the ground. And inhale your arms up high. This time, interlace your fingers, bring your hands behind your head so that your elbows are wide. Good, bring your elbows back, lift your chest, push your head into your hands for 3. Good, lean back 2. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Whew. Plank pose. Hold on your inhale. Lower knees, chest, and chin. See this little back bend there. And then lower your hips. Come into a cobra where you're using your arms now. Roll your shoulders back. Pull your chest through. Maybe your arms get fully straight. Take one more breath in. Good. Use your core to transition. So hug your core in, then curl your toes, downward facing dog. Nice. Right leg up. Inhale, breath. This time bend your knee and turn your hips to face the right wall. Press into both hands evenly. And you can stay here. For those of you who know a flip dog or a wild thing, you can do that by reaching your foot over, press both feet down, and lift and lengthen as you back bend. If you flipped, lift your right arm up, inhale. Flip back, 3-legged downward facing dog. Good. Now everyone step to your hands just like we normally do. Lower your back knee. Crescent moon, inhale up. Interlace your fingers behind the back of your head, kind of at the lower part. Move your hips forward, and you're going to use that. Press your head to your hands. Bring your elbows back. Take them out of your peripheral vision. 3, see more of the ceiling. 2, and then release. Hands to the ground. Curl your back toes. Step forward. Halfway inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. And inhale, rise to chair pose. Sink low. So last time, hands next to you. Get to that depth where you can graze the mat with your fingernails. If you have long nails, you are in luck. Good. Keep this low seat. Hug your inner thighs in with your arms forward. 4. It's the last one. It might make you sweat, but keep your breath steady. Inhale, everyone. And fold. Exhale. Good. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Step your left foot all the way back. Knee down. And inhale your arms up. Interlace your hands back behind your head. Lift your eyes, lift your chin. Lean back for 3. Go back for 2. Nice. And then arms up. Inhale. Hands down, plank pose. Exhale. Hold on your breath in. And lower on your breath out. And go into a baby cobra or any height of cobra that you want. Breathe in. Down dog, lead with your core to make that transition. Inhale your left leg up to the ceiling and bend your knee, turn your hips to the left. Now once again, press evenly into both hands. Give your left hand the same amount of love as your right. Stay here for 3 or flip your dog for 3. Now if you flipped, press both hips up to the ceiling. Reach your left arm over like you're going to touch the ground. Good. Come out how you came in. We'll all meet in 3-legged downward facing dog. And then step your foot to your hands just like nothing happened. Good. Drop your back knee. Inhale up. Interlace your fingers at your low part of your head. Go up, go back. 3. Last time doing this for 2. And then release, hands down to the ground. Step forward. Halfway to lengthen. Fold, release that out. Inhale, rise to standing. Hands down to chest center. Close your eyes. And be as still as you can. Just breathe. And just feel. Nice. Good. Inhale your arms all the way up. We're not doing the same thing again. We're changing forward fold, exhale, but a little bit of the same start. And halfway lift to lengthen. You're going to step your left foot all the way back and pause there with your back leg straight. Inhale your chest forward a little. And then exhale, spin to your left for wide-legged forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Just bring your feet a little closer towards each other. Have your fingertips in line with your toes if you can reach there. And if it's tough to reach the ground, use your blocks. Bring your hands to blocks and fold between your own legs. Now, as you're folding, inhale, lift your tailbone upward. And feel your heels and the ball of your foot press into the ground evenly. Good, just taking the good of your flow so far and all that movement. Good, halfway lift to lengthen. And turn your left toes out halfway so that you're in the side lunge. I'm going to have you start with both heels down and your hips at knee height in that direction. Or if you want, you're going to turn your right toes. You might have to shorten your stance, but turn your right toes up to the ceiling as you lower your hips. And depending on your flexibility or just even your bone structure of your ankles will depend if this is possible. Good. If you want hands at chest center, 3. Lift your chest if your hands are lifted, and then lower your hands down. We're all going to turn to a lunge at the front of the mat. So it's like you're doing this yoga crawling thing to get to the front. Right toes forward. Left hand is down to the ground. Turn your right arm up to the sky. Nice. And keep that and breathe. And hug your right knee towards your chest. Good. Now lower both hands to the ground. Ground your back foot, warrior 2 pose. Inhale, rise. Feel free to take a short break and straighten your front leg before you settle into the depth of the pose. Good. Set your eyes over your front middle finger. Roll your shoulder blades down and onto your back. Reverse, breathe in. Good, follow your top hand with your eyes. Keep that. 2. Good, come back to warrior 2 just for a moment. Come back, yeah. And then straighten your front leg. Turn your toes to the side of the mat again, to the left side. We're gonna come into goddess. Crowd favorite. So you're going to turn your heels in. Okay, first things first, toes turn out and your knees are in line with your toes. Okay, bring your backs of your wrists to the inside of your knees, or even like your forearms to the insides of your knees and press out. Lift your chest. Now keep your knees there. Don't let your legs move and bring your arms to goalposts. Lift your chest, bring your arm bones back behind you. There you go, hold for 3. Take in this power for 2. And then slowly stand. 3, straighten your legs, 2, and 1. Nice. Spin back towards the front of your mat, twisted triangle. So just your right foot's forward. Right heel and left heel are not in the same line. You're gonna have some width. Take your time, go there as you know. But your left hand will be outside your foot for the deepest version of the twist, or inside of your foot. And get that nice big rotation to the right. Right arm is up to the sky. Now self-assist of your outer hip again. Take your right hand to your outer right hip. Press your outer right hip behind you as you twist to the right. Yes, stay there the whole time if that's super helpful, or bring your right hand back up. 3. Nice. Both hands drop to the floor. Frame your front foot. Inhale, look forward. Bend your right knee. Exhale, step forward. Halfway lift. Move your block off. Forward fold. Exhale. And then rise to standing. Breathe in. Up, up, up. And then hands to chest center. Close your eyes. And take in that good. All the goodness of the movement, the gratitude for our body, our health, what we can do, where we are, what we do have. Good. Inhale your arms all the way up, stretch and lengthen vertically. Forward fold, exhale, downward. And halfway lift, inhale. Now step your right foot to the back of your mat. Pause and lift your chest in this lunge. And go to a wide-legged fold at the right side of your mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Let your hands stay grounded. But if you want to this time, turn your fingers the other way. Turn your fingers away from you. Walk your hands underneath your own legs and pull yourself under. Good. Just for 3. Then come into a halfway lift. Side lunge to your right. So turn your right toes out halfway. Lunge over to the right leg, but keep your chest facing the side of your mat. Now, if you want to, you can take your left foot in a little bit, turn your left toes up to the ceiling, and lower into Skandasana. Now, if you lower, make sure that you don't drop everything down. You want to lift about 1/8 of an inch up from your deepest depth, so you're not falling into your joints. Everyone breathe. 2 more breaths. You're stretching your groin, your inner hips, your hamstrings. And drop your hands. Turn to the front of your mat. So you're going to do this kind of yoga crawl into a lunge. Left toes forward. Right hand down. Inhale and rotate. Now zip up your back leg. Remember what's behind you. It's kind of like remembering the past, like what you no longer see. What's back there. It's part of you. It informs the rest of the shape. It informs where you go. But keep that connection. Remember. Good. Hands down to the ground and then come on up to Warrior 2 pose. That deep depth in your front leg and that zip up strength in your back leg. So your back leg is strong, it's stable. Your front leg is a little bit more mobile. Look over your front middle finger and breathe in this moment. See if you can find something good about holding this pose. And reverse back. Lengthen your left side for 3. Look to your top hand for 2. Good, and then come back to Warrior 2 just for a moment, not long. Slowly straighten your front leg. Turn to the right side of your mat again. And you're going to come into a goddess pose. So toes come out. Hips go nice and low. Oh, I almost fell backward. Good. Take your time so you don't fall over here. Keep your hips low and your hands or wrists to the insides of your knees. Keep that depth. Inhale your arms up to goal posts. And bring your arm bones back. Expand along the front of your chest, along your collarbones. 3. Embrace your fierceness, your strength, possibility. Slowly stand for 3. Slow, and I mean slow 2. Good. And 1, legs are straight. Now turn towards the front, pivot, and come into a twisted triangle. Left foot directly forward, right toes out about halfway. And take your time to fold and twist to the left. Make sure that your spine is long. If you have to round a lot, use your hand for a block to lift your chest. 3. Rotate both eyes to see your top thumb. Nice. One more breath, left hip back. And then both hands to the ground. Look forward and step to the front. Good. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold and exhale, and then rise up all the way to standing. Breathe in. And then hands down at chest center. Close your eyes. Feel what you feel. And breathe. Good. Take your feet wide, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Inhale your arms up, and then exhale, sit into Malasana, a deep yogi squat. Awesome. Just hold there for 2 more breaths, and then we're going to get to the ground. But I want to just get into the squat one more time, or one time to stretch your inner hips one more time, because we're going to do a big inner hip stretch in just a moment. All right, here it comes. Hands down. Start to come into a fold. Turn your toes to the front. And then you're going to step your left foot back and turn to face the left side of your mat again. We're going to come into frog. So if you know the pose, no need to wait for my instruction to get there. But you're going to walk your hands out in front of you and lower each of your knees down to the mat. And it's going to be your inner knee. So you're going to get your legs out as wide as you possibly can. Good. And then your forearms are going to be on the floor. Feel free to bring your head to your arms. You're going to let your upper body surrender and release as much as you can. You're here for about 30 more seconds. So in tonight's class, we're having a shorter time in the yin portion of the practice. We had a nice little yin type of a warm-up when we started on our backs. So this part might be a little shorter than normal, but getting the same benefit out of it, of those deeper stretches. We've prepared all of these muscle groups through our flow, through the vinyasa portion. Good. Now to come out of this, you're going to slowly bring your chest forward and onto the ground, and then straighten your legs behind you. And then bring yourself all the way up to seated. Nice. Okay, from seated, we're going to go into double pigeon or fire log pose. Once again, if you know it, go ahead, but we'll start with the right shin down. Right shin is parallel to the front of your mat. Left leg, you're going to lift it up and flex your left foot. It's going to protect your left knee. And draw your shin towards your chest. And then once you're ready, bring the outer edge of your ankle or your foot to the inner right knee. That's tight today. Anyone else? Whew. So keep both feet flexed and then take your time to lean forward over your legs. And the other option is to place your top foot in front of your knee or even onto a block that's in front of your knee. You'll get the same muscle groups, it'll just be a little bit more accessible. Okay, 1 more minute on this side, no rush. And if 1 more minute just sounded like a sentence of like torture or something, then I invite you to, again, take the shift of your mindset. I think it'll go faster than you think, but also just trying to take in the good of this moment. By staying in this pose for the next 35 seconds, what can it bring to you? Or even what can you release? Surrender everything. And let your breath move freely. And one more big breath. Stay for that last big exhale. And then come all the way up. Nice. Whew. Lean back. Straighten out your legs for a moment. Straighten out your knees. Either just a brief forward fold or shake your legs out. Good. And then let's switch to the other side. Left shin is going to be on the bottom. Means your right leg, you're going to cradle it, putting your knee into the crook of your elbow, holding your foot with your other hand, and flex your foot. Good. Draw up and then place your outer edge of your foot, your ankle, on top of your knee. On the other side, you make sure that your ankle is under your knee, so your legs are stacked. Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose. And try to get both hips to root into the floor as evenly as you can. There's this really great book called The Buddha's Brain. And we use it in my 300-hour yoga teacher training when we talk about or learn about our portion on meditation and kind of the neuroscience of meditation. But in the book, this one section, it talks about how our brain is wired, just from evolution, that we're wired to take in what's bad and remember it. We're wired to protect ourselves and to survive. So we remember the things that are not good, or the dangerous things, the things that didn't work well, so we can protect ourselves next time. So naturally, it's really easy to kind of live in that dark hole, or the regrets, or the I should haves, or the don't do that, or the fear. And it's really important that we practice gratitude and remembering the good, because we have to do the work to take in the positive. We have to do the work to rewire the natural direction of our brain to have thoughts that are uplifting, that are positive. It won't come naturally. But it can happen. So in these next couple of breaths here, I know it might sound redundant in some way, but I now invite you again to think of something that you're grateful for, but something different. If last time it was a person, think of something else. If last time it was something about nature, then what else? But one other thing that you're grateful for, and why. And one more deep breath. And then lift your chest all the way up. Nice. Nice job, guys. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. And we're going to come into a fish pose. So you're going to sit on your hands, the backs of your hands. Your palms are down. Just get your fingers, not your whole palm, underneath you. And drop onto your forearms. And you're not just going to sink down. You're going to press into your forearms, press your chest up, and let the top of your head touch the floor. So you may have to go back, back, back until you get there. Good. Now hold this and breathe. You're stretching out your throat, the front of your body for 3, for 2. And then release, lift your chin, and come on to your back. Awesome. And on your back, draw both knees into your chest without touching them. Bring your arms out like a T and drop both of your legs off to the right. So you might want to scoot your hips to the left first. Bring your eyes to the left. And we didn't do a ton of twisting through our practice, so we're going to stay here just a little bit longer. And get your right shoulder out from underneath of you. Yeah. One thing I've been doing for almost the last year is before I go to bed, I say something good about my day. Now, I say it to my husband if he's away for work or I'm away for work, then I think of it to myself, or I text him, don't tell him that I told you that. But just at the end of the day or throughout your day, just what is good? Do the work to remember that. Do the work to shift your brain from the negative natural tendencies to ones that support you, that uplift you, that make you feel good. Nice, guys. Other side. Bring your knees into your chest first. Place your feet down. Scoot your hips to the right. Bring your knees back in and drop them off to the left. And bring both arms out like a T. Get your left shoulder out from under you. Just helps you get a fuller twist. And look to the right. And then start to soften your jaw. You're preparing your body for your final rest, for your Savasana. So just check in with the muscles of your face and your eyebrows, that they're getting softer, relaxed, that there's no gripping. Make sure your teeth are not touching from the top to the bottom. And then come onto your back. Place your feet to the floor. Recenter your hips and come into a happy baby, both feet at the same time. Keep your low back onto the ground. And it might feel a little silly, but rock left and right a little bit. Like you're just a really happy baby. You're just feeling the joy moving through your body. And if you know me, you know one of my favorite things is trying to be a really happy baby and trying to put your foot in your mouth here. Don't actually put your foot in your mouth, but see how close you can get. Good. And then come onto your back. Savasana. Nice final deep rest here. Just about 3 minutes on our backs today. And while it can be totally easy to stop the video or to end it here, I recommend staying. And if you can't stay now, perhaps do it a little bit later on. Our whole yoga practice, we've been coming to this pose. We've been moving towards this moment. It's a meditation of sorts, where physically all of your muscles are releasing. So let your arms fall to the ground, your legs fall. Release the weight of your chest. And mentally, rather than thinking deeper about a certain topic or going into a checklist, every time you think of a thought, notice that thought. Notice you're thinking it. And then excuse it. Just kind of pass it through your mind and move on to the next thought. Notice it. Don't go deeper. And then excuse it and go to the next thought. Just keep doing that so that nothing is holding on. Your body is not holding on. Your mind is not holding on. Just letting things be. Good, and take one more breath here. And feel free to stay longer if you like. Otherwise, start to bring your knees into your chest and roll towards your right side. And press yourself all the way up to seated. Facing the front of your mat with your legs crossed, your eyes closed. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up over your head. Bring your hands down to your chest center and relax your shoulders, yet stay tall. And bring your thumbs to your forehead center as a gesture of recognition, recognizing, acknowledging the light and the beauty within yourself, that same light within others. Wonderful job, you guys. You can open your eyes. Great work. Thank you.